Hey everyone, it's Mike Hambright with FlipNerd.com. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Expert Interview Show, where I interview leaders and entrepreneurs from across the real estate investing industry. Now, if you're new to the show, welcome. And if you're a member of FlipNerd.com or you're an avid listener, hey, welcome back. Glad to have you. If you're not a member of FlipNerd.com yet, please go check it out. You can get a free account in literally about 15 seconds. Pretty easy. In this episode number 288, I'm here with my friend Trevor Mock. Trevor is the CEO of Carrot, a software company for real estate investors, and I'll let Trevor tell us a little bit more about that in just a minute. So, hey, Trevor, what's up?
Mike, it's good to be back, man. I know I was on several months back, and
yeah,
it's amazing being back, so thank you for the invite.
Yeah, glad to see you. And you guys are kind of blowing it up right now, and you've learned a lot of things, and I'm excited that you're going to share some lessons with us today.
Mm-hmm.
For those that haven't heard, I've said this for the past couple of shows, we've kind of have a new format here in 2016. We're still in the early part of the year, and we break our show in two parts, which one is kind of getting to know Trevor and learning some things about him and from him. And then part two, we're going to get a little more detailed in the taking action segment of the show, where we're going to kind of get down to the nitty gritty, and Trevor's going to share some action-oriented steps you can take to take your business to the next level. So Trevor, for those that don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about you?
Yeah, so as you said, my name is Trevor Mock, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Carrot, and we started that. It was about 3 years ago is when we officially started it. It's right at 3 years. And but the process of creating the knowledge and the product and the research was years and years prior to that. So yeah. I started investing in real estate. I'm a buy and hold guy when I was 21 and in college. The years after that, from my active income, I've always done different things, marketing, consulting, things like that. And it led to the web, and I started to generate leads myself for my rental properties through the web. And I started to get my own websites ranked pretty high. I was working with a mortgage brokerage where I was able to get their website ranked really high, and more leads were coming in. So that kind of led into, over a period of a 3, 4, 5 year period, of me learning really how to generate a lot of leads online, to the tune of over 85,000 real estate leads online over those last 7, 8, 9 years. And it's only climbing now. So we actually took all of that knowledge, baked it into an actual tool a few years ago called Carrot, that now our members are pulling in over 20,000 leads a month from the platform. So it's really fun. It's fun just growing a business with intentionality. And I know this call, we're going to be talking about some really action item stuff. But before we do, Mike, I want everyone to think on how you're growing your own business, whether it's wholesaling or flipping, or it could be a software company, whatever it is. Just be crazy intentional on why you're building the thing, what your big why is. Also be crazy intentional on what your non-negotiables are. Like, I had a list of 5 things. I said, these 5 things, if I can't make the company like these, have these 5 things, then I'm not going to do it. And come up with your non-negotiables and just push forward and crush it. Have fun with it.
Are you comfortable sharing those things, what they are for you?
Yeah, totally. No, totally. So my non-negotiables, and like I said, I sat down before I ever launched Carrot, but I've had several companies before that, sold one of them. And the non-negotiables were based off of the things I did not like about the previous companies I had ran. Okay, so one of them was my income. I made a really good income, but it was boom and bust, right? So we would do $120,000 in 1 month, and then $10,000 the next month,
right.
And 2, and then 15. And while at the end of the year, the income was great, the consistency is not great on your mental mindset.
Right.
So one of the things was, it's got to be consistent and predictable revenue model, something that can grow into a really good asset, not just an income stream. Another one of the things that was non-negotiable is business has got to be fun. My previous company was a great company. We had great products, great team, but I wasn't very intentional with building fun into the company. So with Carrot, you can see the orange shirt. If I was to show you the rest of the office, it's all carroted out in here. I'll shoot right here. We have these things called Carrot Buds. They're these little dolls that we have, mascot. And we just placed an order for 1,000 more, but we came up with two new characters. So
there you go.
This is our farmer carrot, and you can see it's all custom made. We made these. We didn't order them, somewhere already pre-made. We designed it and everything. Here's our super carrot. So there's a lot of things like that with having fun. So that was a non-negotiable there, was having fun. Another non-negotiable was, like I said, I want to make sure that we're building an asset, not just an income stream, something that 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, we can grow and do really well growing it.
Yep.
And man, let me pull up something really quick. So another one was live on purpose and work within my unique abilities. My previous company, we were doing great, but I was working too far outside of the things I was truly great at and loved to do. The last thing, Mike, is a singular focus on the big thing. Same thing, my previous companies, we would try to tackle 42 problems. I would go out there and we would try all the different kinds of marketing, where I would have 4 different companies running at one time. With Carrot said, I'm gonna have singular focus on the big opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's when I got rid of all my other companies, except for the consulting company, focused on Carrot. Said we're going to get insanely good at one type of marketing and one type of marketing only, and then we will stack on stuff as we master that. And that's what we've done.
Yeah, that's great. That stuff's hard to do. I mean, it's especially for real estate investors, because it's hard to not be boom and bust. I've said this is, I don't know if I've coined this phrase, but I say this is a lumpy business.
Yeah.
You know, you don't buy anything for 3 weeks and you buy 3 houses in one day, and it's just like a roller coaster financially, mentally, no doubt about it. Right.
So on that topic, and this is something, because I used to think the same thing about any business. I'm like, well, shoot, if you're out there, you're hustling, you're the main founder. Oftentimes it is kind of boom and bust, even a consulting business. Let's say you have 3 clients locked down, each one of them paying you $5,000 a month. One of those clients leaves, your income got cut by 1/3.
Right.
2 clients leave, your income got cut by 2/3.
Yep.
And so what I found with growing this company, with wholesalers can do it as well, or house flippers can do it as well, it just takes a little more work on the front end, is with this company, one of the ways that I wanted to make it consistent and predictable, but also deliver an insane experience for our customers, was I went into it saying, no longer am I going to try to run my business as a lifestyle business and have it be just mainly me, which sounds kind of funny because everyone's probably listening to this going, okay, but that's what I want as a lifestyle business.
Right.
So what I thought was a lifestyle business before was me working with a bunch of VAs, right? What I have realized was that put me at the center of this cog, the center of this wheel, where everything always fed back to me, and there really wasn't the freedom that I thought I was getting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we've got a staff of 10 people and growing. Our payroll is way higher than I ever thought I would ever be paying per month, but we're profiting more than I've ever profited in any other company. None of it makes sense. I have a higher payroll and everything, and our profit margins are even higher than my previous companies when I had no payroll. So that to me was a big part of it. Is you can do this as a wholesaler. You just need to take a different approach. You need to go, okay, at the start it's going to be just me, but as soon as I can, as soon as the revenue is coming in to the business, over the next one with Carrot.
Awesome. Well, Trevor, so that one thing that you've become good at, why don't you tell us what that is, and let's kind of dive into it a little bit.
Yeah, so the marketing side, like I said, one of our non-negotiables was we're focused on, have sole focus on the big thing, and that means everything, your business model, what you're going to focus on. For us, it also meant marketing. So with marketing, the highest return on investment marketing that we ever did in my previous companies was always content. Like we were always putting out great content, and we were getting the content to show up in search engines, whether it's in videos or articles or whatever.
Sure.
And it takes time, but the thing that we found is kind of like a freight train. It's like once it gets momentum going, Mike, it keeps on growing. It keeps growing, but the work goes down. So the cool thing about it is you put a lot of work up front. It's like a freight train or a snowball rolling downhill. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but the work goes down.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of other types of marketing that we were doing, let's say pay-per-click or direct mail or doing live events or whatever it could be, knocking on doors, whatever it is. It's really a one-to-one relationship with pay-per-click, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because we also do some pay-per-click a little bit. But with pay-per-click, you cannot have the leads come in unless you're putting the money in.
Right. You stop advertising and you're done.
Exactly. Direct mail, you cannot have the leads coming in unless you pay the money to have the direct mail piece shipped and mailed out. Right. With content marketing, or I like to call it conversation marketing, you can put those content pieces out there in a very strategic way, optimize them in a way that will teach you. I'll teach you how to do every part of this today if we have time. And then that content's up there forever. So as long as you did the right steps to get it in front of the people who are going to be your prospect, that content piece is going to be there ranking well in a year, but you put in the work to do it this time.
Yep.
So 80% of our own business here at Carrot is eating our own dog food. It's creating content out there that's going after. It's tapping into the conversations our prospects are already having online, finding what kind of content we can put in front of them that's useful to them, that helps them,
Yep.
and then we get it online. We basically rank it well on Google.
Yep.
And that's the majority of the leads that come in for our members. The 20,000 plus leads a month, sellers, buyers, rent-to-own tenants. The majority of those leads, about 70% of those leads, are from that exact method. It's not from pay-per-click. It's not from direct mail.
Yep.
It's from conversation marketing.
Awesome. So you build websites for real estate investors that end up becoming their lead generation vehicles and using content and tapping into conversations to kind of bring those leads to you. Why don't you talk for a minute about how your service benefits other investors? Because I'll say this, I know this for a fact because I have a lot of coaching students and mentoring folks and have a lot of experience in the real estate investing industry, is that the best real estate investors are the ones that are not good at building websites or creating content or really doing anything. They probably tend to be great salespeople and they're out there making stuff happen. But obviously you don't have a sustainable business unless you have all those other things in place to help you kind of, sustain over time, right?
Yeah.
To kind of talk about that, the fact that for real estate investors, just talk to the real estate investors out there and say, yeah, when you hear these things, like we do these things, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to do it all or you need to go build this or whatever. Just how people can start to get into the mind frame of, okay, I need to find people to help me kind of build this business around me.
Man, and what you said there about the mind frame, that's the biggest thing is going back to one of my non-negotiables is working within my unique purpose and my unique ability as much as possible. I'm not a techie either. Like I own a software company, but I'm not a techie. I don't know how to program. I don't know how to code. I can use WordPress and set up stuff, but it's like pulling teeth for me. It's not where my value is. So if you're watching this videos and listening to this podcast and you're like, I just really love negotiating with sellers. I really love going out there and doing the actual fix and flip side of it. And you just hate, it's like pulling teeth for you to log in online. Like Mike said, you don't need to do the work yourself. You just need to have someone or a system that helps get that result for you or make it happen for you. So all the things that are involved, as an example here. So if you're to go out there and set up your own site, which completely do that if you've got that skill and if that's your best use of your time. You've got to go out there and find a hosting company. Then you have to go out there and build the site. So there's a lot of ways you can do that. It could be WordPress and getting a theme. It could be hiring someone. It could be one of those free or cheap website builders. And so let's say you get a website up. That's the easy part. Like I can literally go to one of those free or cheap website builders, click a couple buttons and have a website online. Now, that's where a lot of people stop. And that's why they don't get good results because they're not an expert in performance. They're not an expert in conversion optimization, getting someone once they land there to actually convert into a lead.
Right.
And even the guys who are doing 20 deals a month, they're probably not conversion rate experts. They're probably experts in whatever it is in their business that got them to that 20 deals a month. It could be the negotiation. It could be their other marketing or whatever. So we're finding that even just those differences in performance on a website. So making a website convert, let's just as an example, use round numbers. Let's say your website, your motivated seller website converted 5% of everyone who landed on it into a lead. So 5 people out of 100 would become a lead for you. That's awesome. So, but what if your website could convert 8% of everyone who landed on your website into a lead? That's an extra 3 leads per 100 visitors. Let's say you get 100 visitors per year. That's an extra, what was that, 36 or so? That's an extra 36 leads per year. How many leads do you have to get, especially online leads, to close a deal? Our average in our system is about 16 leads per deal with online leads. That equals 2 extra deals a year by doing nothing other than having a website that performs just 3% better.
Right. And what is that worth to you?
Yeah. So once start kind of going back to that, if you average, let's say, $15K in profit per deal, you just put an extra $30,000 in your business that year by doing nothing else other than changing your website platform into something that performs better.
Right.
So if you're out there and you are an active investor, let's say that you're trying to be an active investor and the web stuff is just not something that you're good at. As an example with our system, and this isn't a sales pitch for our thing, but just kind of walk you through how we've identified a problem and tackled it, and you guys can find what's right for you, is we've gone, okay, let's take care of the first 60% of the on-page SEO stuff. And that's one of the reasons our clients are ranking so well is we take care of the first 60%, so you don't have to be an SEO expert. And then we walk you through, and we have training and really great support to help you with the other 40%. And it's all a la carte. Like, you can do it all yourself if you want to, or you go, hey, I don't want to do anything. We also have services and our team members on our team who can dive in and do everything for you for a fee, of course. So that's kind of the approach that we took. Is our mission in our business, and this is written on our website. You guys can find it on the About page. Our mission is to create amazing tools, software, support, and training that help entrepreneurs do more of what makes their heart sing and less hassling with tech and marketing issues.
Yeah,
that literally is our mission in our business. So that we implement all these things around our ecosystem, so you as an investor have less hassling with tech and marketing issues.
Yeah, that's great. And I think, an important thing that I tell a lot of people is that the importance of treating your real estate investing business like a business and not a hobby. And I think for those so what that inherently means is, I'm not a big believer in all the people that say, well, if you're flat broke and don't have any money, you can be successful in real estate investing. You can be, don't get me wrong, but you generally need to invest in your business to have a business. Otherwise, it is just a hobby. If you say, well, I'm not going to have a website, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do everything myself, which inherently you're not going to be good at everything. And you never get out of that cycle of truly being a business, right?
Yep. No, totally. Yeah. And kind of going back to one of the non-negotiables, everyone on this call number one, you guys should make your own non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Number two, the one I think that has made the most difference for me personally anyway, was the first one. It was the last one I mentioned, but the first one on my list when I look at it here in my office, and it's focused solely on the big thing, right? On the big thing. And with you guys, focus on what you're really great at and what you're not great at, and focus on what that big thing is going to be that you're going to be the best at. Like in your market, there could be 400 wholesalers in your market. But let's say hardly any of them are tackling fire damaged properties, and it's as an example, or they're not, hardly any of them are really tackling inherited houses in a big way. They're all going after the foreclosure stuff, the whatever. Right, you can just focus in and go, okay, for this next 4 months, I'm not saying I got to pigeonhole myself in this forever. For the next 3 or 4 months, I'm going to be the person that if you inherit a house in Orlando or in whatever city, I'm going to be the person who's the most logical and effective step for people to go to. Nail that with crazy focus, get that down, get that lead source coming in for you. And then you can go, okay, now let me do the same thing for divorce. I'm going to tackle and just build these relationships with all these attorneys. I'm going to rank my content really well, my website really well, for basically people looking to sell their house and divorce. Full focus, crush it for 2 months or a month, and then move on and move on and move on. Yep. It's kind of like making a brick wall. A lot of people they have the wheelbarrow full of bricks, right? And they try to do everything. They're like trying to do all this marketing. They're trying to do all these strategies. They're flipping, they're wholesaling, they're doing rent to own. They're also, doing like 4 other things that they're trying to. Oh, and also, by the way, I'm also a multifamily investor. They're trying to do it all. That's kind of like walking up with your wheelbarrow, wanting to build a brick wall, and tipping your entire wheelbarrow over. You're going to have like something there. The bricks will be stacked, but it's going to be in a haphazard way. It's not a wall. Right. It's not something that's going to bounce a ball back to you. Instead, go, okay, I'm going to take this one brick. I'm going to stack the brick. I'm going to take this other, I'm going to stack it. Take it one at a time and doing it with intentionality and doing it good. You can bounce a ball off that it can actually do something for you.
Yeah, so that's great. That's great.
Don't dump your bricks. Don't try to make a brick wall by dumping a wheelbarrow full of bricks on the floor. Take them out one at a time. Be intentional about the one you're laying and build a wall, not a pile of bricks. And that's what too many people are doing, is they're trying all this stuff and mastering 1 or 2 at a time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Trevor, I'd like to jump into the taking action section of the show. If you're hearing this at this point, then you're watching the basic version of our show. And to see the rest of this show with Trevor Mock and get access to a lot of really actually hundreds of other expert interviews, off-market deals, a lot of other information on flipnerd.com, you'll need to upgrade to a pro or elite member. To get there, simply go to flipnerd.com/show288. This is episode number 288 with Trevor Mock. Just go to flipnerd.com/288. See the rest of the show and a whole bunch of other great content. Are you a member of FlipNerd.com, the most robust real estate investing platform in existence, where you can find off-market wholesale deals and great vendors literally in your market? You can get access to advice from experts and learn about local clubs and events right in your backyard. If not, please visit FlipNerd.com and register for a free account. You can register in less than a minute. It's pretty much the coolest site that's ever existed in the real estate investing industry, so get on over to FlipNerd.com.